Hey Internet! Being that I was away at PAX at the beginning of the month and that my top 10 tips video took a little bit longer to edit than I thought, I realized I'm behind a video. So I decided to go to my NES shelf, grab a random game, and just do a video on it. What game did I pick? Renegade for the NES. That's right, Renegade. Wondering what we can expect from this game? Well, I found a few promotional materials online, and I can tell you, it sounds pretty crazy. One of the taglines reads,
2 a.m. is no time to be alone on the subway, and you're about to find out why.
If that doesn't get your blood pumping and get you ready for action, why don't we take a look at what the inside of the manual says the story is. You're surrounded by gangs of bloodthirsty thugs. You weren't looking for trouble, but you won't run from it either. Only you can put these punks in their place. Face down in the gutter. Your flying fists and killer kicks will have to do the job. It's you or them. Well, holy heck, this sounds like some wicked rad fun, but I think that I might be a little bit too overdressed to be carrying out any kind of vigilante mission. I mean, bow tie's great and all, but I don't think it really screams vigilante. Or tough. Tough vigilante. That's much better. Now I feel tough enough to take on Renegade.
Renegade is basically an old-school brawler where you fight your way through waves of enemies to unlock the doorway into the next level. When combating enemies, you have a handful of moves to get the job done. The running punch, running kick, sit-on punch, grab and knee, and the shoulder throw. My favorite by far is the shoulder throw, especially in the second level when you get to fight these dudes with sweet pink outfits.
It's raining men. Hallelujah, it's raining men. Amen.
I feel it's important to note that even with the simple controller the NES has, these controls are incredibly awkward. Let me explain. When facing to the left, the B button punches and the A button does this odd donkey kick thing, which seems straightforward enough. However, if you turn around and face to the right, A becomes punch and B becomes back kick. This gives the game a complex learning curve it doesn't really need. There are plenty of other NES brawlers like Double Dragon where the punch is always punch and the kick is always kick, no matter which direction you face. So basically, you go through different environments, fighting 3 different types of enemies, and beating up anything that moves. Then taking on a boss character at the end of every few stages. There is one exception, however, a level where you grab a motorcycle and start fighting off other tough guys while driving like some kind of crazy 8-bit road rash. There are also pickups available, but I find them difficult to get and fairly cryptic. It may be because I've never been that into these type of arcade-style brawlers much. Basically, you need to jump kick an enemy or a wall while the countdown timer is at a specific set of numbers, or perform a certain maneuver on your third victim while the timer is on an even number. It all seems very complex and odd to me. Another thing that seemed odd was the story. These old beat-em-ups obviously aren't much for story, but there was little to no explanation to why I was fighting these guys or what was going on. I jumped online to do a little bit of research and here's what I found. Renegade is an NES port of an arcade game with the same name. The arcade game is actually a westernized version of a Japanese game called Niketsu Kowa Kuino Kun, or Hot-Blooded Tough Guy Kuino. I probably didn't pronounce any of that right, but we're gonna go with that. Also, side note, best name ever for a game, ever. Some of the differences between the US arcade and NES port include simplified graphics and the boss battles being separated into their own stages. But the strangest one is the complete removal of your love interest, who in the arcade port is apparently captured, thus why you fight all these bad guys. She can be seen at the end of the game hugging the hero, whereas in the NES port, the screen just goes black. It's even more interesting to compare Renegade to its Japanese counterpart. The Japanese version of the game features Japanese students fighting gangs to avenge their friend who was bullied by said gangs. The whole thing leads up to an epic battle with the Yakuzas. In all honesty, the original Japanese version sounds far more interesting to me than either of the American ports. The gameplay feels sluggish and kind of awkward at times. While I can appreciate what this game did for the genre, I don't feel it holds up very well to games like Battletoads or Double Dragons. Some of the enemies feel like they take forever to kill, and sometimes you get glitches where you fall or take damage for no real reason. Also, I've never felt so uncomfortable playing an NES game than when I fought what appears to be a bunch of women dressed in kimonos, fighting me with purses. Honestly, I was always taught never to hit anyone, especially a girl. And this feels wrong. The motorcycle level was really fun, and a nice break from the repetitive 2-enemy cycle that I had faced up to that point. I was actually bummed when it was over. Even though you were awarded at the end of each stage with health regen, the game still felt difficult. This could be due to the fact that I'm really bad at these types of games, but I found myself frustrated, especially with the first boss. You know, the one who looks like he belonged from the Warriors? That guy. Leather vest.
Warriors, come out to play.
If you're really into the Double Dragon games or River City Ransom, you might really enjoy this game. I can respect it for what it was, a step forward in the brawler genre, but I don't see myself playing it all that often. I find it too frustrating and difficult. The movement is too clunky and the power-ups are way too cryptic. Maybe I've become soft from the new-gen consoles. I would, however, like to try either the arcade port or the Japanese version to see if I like either one of them any better.
As always, thank you for watching my video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I appreciate anybody who takes the time out of their day to watch my videos. If you haven't seen my PAX video yet, click here to have a look at it. Just a 10 tips video, nothing too crazy. 10 tips for first-timers from a first-timer. Don't forget to like and subscribe below. Also, if you leave me a comment and I ever meet you in real life, I'll totally high-five you. The offer's good forever. If you want to keep in touch, make sure that you follow me on Facebook and Twitter. That's right, I have a Facebook now. Joining the big dogs. Make sure you come on over there and be first, I guess, because I don't have anybody over there right now. Nobody's over there looking at me, so doesn't matter. Also, just as an add-on, while making this video, I started looking up 80 slang terms because I get sidetracked real easy. And I found out that wizard means cool. So you just say, hey man, that was wizard, and that's cool. It's probably the best thing you're going to learn this entire video, so you're welcome. Until next time, see you guys later. Bye!